You've been pushing through for months, maybe even years. When things got hard, you held it together. When you felt overwhelmed, you told yourself to get on with it. When emotions came up, you pushed them back down and kept going. And that worked. For a while, or even quite a while. But lately, something is different. The pushing does not feel the same. The harder you try to stay strong, the more exhausted you feel underneath. And when you finally do fall apart, it is bigger than it used to be, more than you expected, and you cannot figure out why. Here is what I want to tell you today. It has nothing to do with your willpower. In fact, it is a neuroscience problem. Hi, I'm Sophie Maze, neuroplastician and founder of GritSense.co. And today we're talking about why so many strong women end up exhausted and empty, even when they're doing everything right. Here's what most women who push hard do not realize. What looks like grit from the outside often is not. It is suppression. And those two things are not the same. Grit means you keep going through difficulty. Suppression means you keep going by shutting down what you feel. And the frustrating part? Suppression works short term. It looks like strength. It gets things done. Other people admire it. So you keep doing it because it seems to be working, until suddenly it is not. The body keeps score, and at some point it stops cooperating. Here is what most people do not know about this. When you suppress an emotion, you are not getting rid of it. You are sending it underground. And your nervous system knows it is still there. It keeps a part of your brain on alert, watching for when that emotion might surface. That constant vigilance has a cost. It uses up the exact same mental and physical resources you need for focus, for patience, for follow-through, and for actual grit. So the suppression that feels like strength is actually draining the tank your brain needs to stay regulated, which is what allows you to access grit. The research on this is clear. Emotional suppression increases activity in the amygdala and reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex. You end up more reactive, more depleted, and less able to sustain effort over time. And here is what I need you to hear. This is not about how tough you are. This is about what happens in the brain when we carry more than any nervous system was built to hold. Before we continue, if this is clicking for you, please save this video. Because the tool I am going to give you in a minute is one you will want to come back to. And a like and subscribe helps us reach more women who need this work. So what does real grit actually depend on? It depends on emotional regulation. And those are not opposites, they work together. Think of your nervous system like a phone battery. Suppression is like running 12 apps in the background that you cannot see. The phone looks like it is working fine, but the battery drains faster, and eventually the whole thing shuts down. Emotional regulation is different. It means you notice the emotion, process it through the body, and then move forward. The Regulate-then-persist model, which comes out of trauma-informed neuroscience and polyvagal research, shows that when the body feels safe first, the brain can sustain effort much longer. Pushing through a dysregulated nervous system is like trying to run a marathon with the parking brake on. The moment you release that brake, everything gets easier. So here's what I want you to try. It is called name and release, and the whole thing takes about 90 seconds. When you put a word to what you are feeling, your brain actually starts to calm down. Researchers call this affect labeling, and studies by Lisa Feldman Barrett and others show it reduces activity in the amygdala. Just naming it turns the volume down. And when you add a physical release on top of that, the emotion has somewhere to go instead of just sitting there in your body. So here's how you do it. Step 1, put one hand on your chest. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, out through your mouth for 6 counts. That longer exhale activates the vagus nerve and signals the parasympathetic system to start calming the body down. This is the regulation step. You are not trying to fix anything yet. You are just signaling to the nervous system that it is safe to slow down. Step 2, name what you feel, out loud if you can, or quietly in your head if that is easier. And keep it simple. Not the whole story, just one word. Something like frustration, scared, overwhelmed, sad, whatever is true for you right now. One word is enough for the brain to start processing the emotion instead of suppressing it. This is affect labeling in action. Step 3. Say this out loud or quietly to yourself. I can feel this and still move forward. Say it like you mean it, because you do. That is not toxic positivity. That is a direct instruction to your prefrontal cortex. You are telling the thinking brain to come back online, and you are reinforcing the neural pathway that connects emotion and action instead of treating them as opposites. The whole thing takes 90 seconds. It shifts you out of suppression mode and into regulation mode, so the effort you put in after that actually lands. When you do this consistently, something shifts. Not overnight, but within a few weeks. You will notice that hard things feel less like something to survive and more like something you can work through. Your energy will be more consistent, and the grit you have always had, the real kind, will finally have room to show up the way it was meant to. If this resonated with you, please hit subscribe, because next week we are talking about how to build a grit practice that actually sticks after 40. Please share this with one woman in your life who is working hard and quietly running on empty. She might need to hear this today. In the meantime, head over to gritsense.co to grab a copy of our new book, The Grit Builder. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one.